You are listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Melbourne to Baltimore, from London to Piraeus. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never lose the latest updates and stories of the team you love. This is our team, our city, and our land. Man onirotrelo. You're listening to the Gate 7 International Podcast.
My friends, welcome, Olympiacos fans around the world. We are Gate 7 International, your number one English source for all things Olympiacos. Welcome to another episode of the show, brought to you by the fans, for the fans. We're here today to talk about the next Europa League game against Frankfurt. It's the return tie following a 3-1 defeat in Frankfurt. I was there. Labros was there. We're both here today to talk about tomorrow's game. Labro, what's going on?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good morning if you're listening tomorrow morning. I know some of you are listening live, so welcome. It's been almost 2 weeks since I've last been on the podcast because I was in Frankfurt. I had some family things in Athens to attend to as well. So it's been a long trip, but I'm finally back. I have a lot of things on my mind. 2 weeks have passed. We can talk a bit about that away trip in Frankfurt. I don't think you've done that as well on the pod. We can talk about what a shit show that place is. It's one of my least favorite cities.
I'm never going back to Frankfurt. Never again. If they pay me, I would never go back to Frankfurt.
I'm never going back to Frankfurt again in my life. One of my least favorite cities.
Yeah, no offense to people from Frankfurt, but I'm never going back to Frankfurt.
For me, all offense to people from Frankfurt, your city's a shithole. Like, it's terrible. It's
my God,
disgusting. But anyway, we're gonna talk about the game first. I want to do some housekeeping since Adi's not here to do it. Olympiacos DC, who of course we have close relationship with, have their first playoff game this Saturday against, hopefully I got this team's name right, Svisa Prep for Pro FC. They will be playing Saturday evening U.S. Eastern Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time U.S. I don't know what time that is European, but let's say in the evening. So if you want to watch, we'll be providing streaming links and information on our social media. And again, as always, thank you to our sponsor, Piraeus International. Piraeus International is your one-stop shop for all of your international transshipping needs, whether you're shipping olive oil packages, cars, or relocating completely. Piraeus International is here to help. Freight forwarding services available to almost any port around the world, whether North America, Europe, Africa, Asia, or even Australia. Just contact our friends at Piraeus International at 410-675-4696 or email sales@piraeusintl.com. And with that, I think we have one more sponsor ad read, which is the new one. Mine is currently held up in Swiss customs, but we still have the ad read. So, Kostic, you want to let it rip?
Yeah, why not? I was going to say save it for a little bit later.
Okay. Well,
let's save it for a little bit later. Let's keep it a surprise. Let's keep people on. There's a nice little surprise coming later in the show. Nice video for our new sponsor. Stick with us. I think let's dive into it. Let's get into tomorrow. What do we know heading into tomorrow's game? Like what did they say at the press conference today?
I'll start us off. We will start with Frankfurt. Oliver Glasner in his interview in Germany revealed the information that Filip Kostic, Hrustic, Pacienza, and Lenz all did not travel. They won't be available for Frankfurt. That's a big note. Kostic was very important. Last game, we saw him kill Kenny Lalá very, very often. We'll discuss that as well. But we also, he let know that Sebastian Roda, he played for Bayern Munich a few years ago. He was, I think, a German international. He came off the bench in Frankfurt for Pacienza to secure the defense. He made the trip, but he's not fully healthy. Kostic, meanwhile, has an ankle issue. And we got a comment. He said that we can win in Greece. We're only considering Olympiacos, and supposedly there was quite a bit of criticism lit on Frankfurt, who are currently third off the bottom in Germany. They're in risk of getting into a relegation battle. That's a bit crazy to say for a team like Eintracht Frankfurt. But anyway, they really want the win tomorrow. They're looking for it. And the coach came out with those statements. Now, going over to our side, I will pull up the actually, real quick, coming from our side, if we're talking injury news. I don't know whether good or bad, but Andreas Bouchalakis has trained with the team tonight, and he is available. He'll be on the squad list along with one Henry Onyekuru, the dyed hair, as he's been called on Instagram, Vapsomali, as they like to say in Greek. Our Greek listeners will have seen that one around. He is also in the match squad and up for place for a squad place. And let's start off with Pedro Martins, what he said in his press conference. He wants the team to press a bit more and to have better finishing. And he said he's pretty sure that we'll be able to pull out the result. He noted in the first game with Frankfurt, the pressing both by Frankfurt and by us was not good enough. And it's something that we're going to have to get over with. And now that we've seen Frankfurt play, is something we can understand. And regarding the status of Bouchalakis, he said we're going to have to wait 24 hours until the thing. We're going to see if he's going to be able. We're going to give everything. And also that Karbovnik will not be in the team. I read that as well. Yeah, so that was a big thing. They talked about Cisse and blah 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 blah. So just the typical things, like we're sure we're gonna win, we're gonna give it our all. But I think the pressing was interesting. I'm looking at it now. And then also we had Youssef El Arabi, who was speaking in the press conference. And there was a weird quote that came out kind of saying that he prefers to play with Tiquinho. He likes playing with a second striker. So a bit interesting. He noted Pedro Martins knows what we need, but that he prefers playing with Tiquinho. They also asked him a question. Tomorrow night, Youssef El Arabi could be the first scorer, the top scorer for Olympiacos in European history. Just one goal, and he stands alone as the top goal scorer for Olympiacos in European history. It's a big feat, and if he does it tomorrow night with a win, I think it's a big accomplishment. I think it's something. There's going to be a debate, maybe when games slow down, about what his place is in the history of Olympiacos as top strikers. I think it's going to be.
But that's a fun fact, isn't it? That's a fun fact for tomorrow, that he can become Olympiakos' number one scorer in European competitions. I think it's 15 goals. He's tied with Kostas Mitroglou, and he can beat that tomorrow if that's extra incentive for him. I don't know if he's going to start tomorrow. There's already loads of comments coming in about what the lineup's going to be.
It's always with the press conference stuff. They come to the press conference, they always play. I feel like that's the fact. Like, I don't remember once doing the press conference and then they don't start. That's just from memory, not boomer, from memory. But I also want to finish by saying that El Arabi did say that Frankfurt is the team that has give.
And really a lot of what we're going to do tomorrow. I see Garci's there's a topic about Henry
Onyekuru. Yeah, I don't know much. I don't know about Henry Onyekuru, Costa. Ooh. You have technical.
Sorry, my connection is. I think I'm back now.
Don't worry. Let me give you a rant. Shall I give you a rant about this comment? Shall I? Hold on. So, guys, no. I would not be against Vrusai starting tomorrow night. I wouldn't be. This is going to be a controversial take. I wouldn't be against Ronnie Lopez starting tomorrow night. I don't know, to offer us something different. I don't know. I haven't listened to the radio the past few days. So I don't know what the hell they're thinking of playing tomorrow night. Costa, I don't know if your connection's good and you've been listening, but what do you think the lineup's going to be like? Do you have any idea? Because I have no idea.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Working from the attic again. Lineup, yeah. Before we get into that, this game, it has one of those feelings like that Milan game. And I have the tifo behind me if you're watching on video. And Erithrolyfkos Laos just sent a message in saying in Greek, tomorrow's tifo from Gate 7 is going to leave all of Europe speechless.
Oh, it's amazing.
Tomorrow.
I don't know if you saw, but Frankfurt posted a video of them training in the Karaiskaki, and it's full stadium choreo. It's like freaking magnificent. I think it's going to be amazing. So I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it has one of those feelings about tomorrow. It's just, everyone's been saying it's it's another must-win game. First place is up for grabs. If we win tomorrow, we've basically got the ticket into the last 16 of the Europa League. This year, it's different from other years. If you finish first, you skip around, you go straight to the last 16. It means you don't play in February, but you play in March. You don't have to play a game against the Champions League team that's finished third in their group. So, if we win tomorrow, I think it's another step along the journey. We've still got a job to do when we play Fenerbahce at home. Still got a job to do when we go away and play against Antwerp. It's a very unpredictable group. I think everyone can beat anyone. And I think Frankfurt is the team that's caused us the most trouble so far in the group. We saw that in the last game. It's a team that they like to press, or rather, they like to break in transition very, very fast. That's something that we saw live when we were at the game, is that they have very fast players, beast wing backs, and that number 15, I think the Japanese player who I think scored the third goal against us.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Very, very active player in the midfield. He impressed me in the last game, and he really made them tick in midfield. We had trouble after 10 minutes. I said it before, I'll say it again. After 10 minutes, our team looked dead when we were playing against Frankfurt away. But, all of these things, like the style of play of Frankfurt, the fact that they are a fast break counter-attacking team, it raises some questions about how is Pedro going to set up the team tomorrow. And that's the discussion that we've just begun, is, what's the lineup going to be? How is he going to combat Frankfurt's strengths on the counter? And how is he going to counteract that midfield where they have strength and they have pace and they have players with good technique in the middle? There's one of the big questions going into the game is whether it's going to be Henry starting, as you said, on the wing, or whether Onyekuru might start. To be honest, I have a feeling that he's going to go for a 4-3-3. I think the only way I see Ronnie Lopez playing tomorrow is if we play with a number 10. Having said that, I wonder to what extent Martin's plans might change, given the fact that Kostic isn't playing tomorrow. Now that he knows that Kostic isn't playing, does that mean he's going to change his plans? I don't think so. I think this is my take. I think what he'll do tomorrow is he will play likely Aguibou on the wing, which I've gone on record before and said I don't really like him on the wing. I think tomorrow is a day where we see Koundé. I think finally
There's
Koundé
no
might
way.
best.
He's going to start Bouchalakis on one leg and someone's going to... I'm going to the bar tomorrow night to watch the game because it's a European game, so we get it on TV here. So I'm dying to go out for a drink. And we're going, our little squad. And fuck me, it could get rowdy if Bouchalakis' name is on the team sheet. Like, I can't
with this anymore.
With Bouchalakis, like, it's been building, like, social media, like, the whistles in the stadium for Bukhalakis, like, oh, it's gonna be so bad if he plays. It's gonna be so bad. Like, I think people are at the breaking point with Bukhalakis, you know, like he's always there. He's always on the cusp of where people are just like, this bastard, like, you know what I mean, Costa? You know, like people like already in the stadium. Anyone who's been to the stadium, like during Bukhalakis' tenure at Olympiacos, like, just sit there. Okay, you have to speak Greek, but you have to hear the names Bukhalakis is called. It's insane. So, like, and people, it's cool. I bet you it's cooled off with his recent performances. He's been a bit better, but like recently he's been shit. So, like, my God, wow.
It's so just to clarify one thing, because Cissé's out, guys. Cissé's out tomorrow.
On cards.
The yellow card he picked up in the last game means he's suspended. So that means we're going with Ousseynou Ba at the back. I should say, maybe some of you picked this up, but the referee tomorrow is a guy from Belarus, if I remember well.
Yeah.
And in his last Europa League game that he whistled, it was Seville against, I can't remember who. He gave 4 penalties.
Yeah. He's a penalty merchant. I heard that on the radio with
Ousseynou Ba really
was talking about it on the radio. I was like, oh fuck.
He really Ba needs to wind the clock back to some of those performances that we saw.
Ba is going to be playing. Oh no.
Yeah, there are some comments here in the chat. Is there any possibility that we might see what's his name? Envila as a centre back. I frigging hope not. I really don't.
I hope not. What? Where?
No, I don't think.
Is that being reported anywhere? Like, I hope not.
No,
because Socrates is
I don't
fit.
think so.
They said so.
No. There's no way. There's no way.
Bigger disaster.
Should we take
Avram has to come on? Yeah, go on.
Should we take it from the back? Let's take it from the back. The lineup. So
I think it selects itself. Yeah. Go ahead.
Vaclik, Lalá, Oleg.
No, honestly, with Kostic out, I start Androutsos personally.
Androutsos at right back.
Okay, here we go. It's been a while. I haven't been on the podcast. Here it comes. Kenny Lalá is for done. He's done. He is done. I'm ready to say goodbye to Kenny Lalá. I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it, guys.
What about the apology form?
Screw the apology form.
Do you remember the apology form?
Peter has been sensing it. He's like, why do you always talk about Lalá? And I'm just like, well, I fucking hate him. Well, that's why. So I'm really done with it. I'm going to give him, I'm not going to go off on a rant right now, but honestly, Androutsos looks 10 times faster than Kenny Lalá. Does Kenny Lalá even run? Maybe. Okay, let me explain to the listeners what we saw in Frankfurt. How bad was Kenny Lalá in Frankfurt, Costa? Drop it for the freaking people. His positioning, his goddamn effort, just walks around everywhere. I don't know. He just seems like you can really sense how a player is. In person, when the camera's not on, when I'm walking and they're at it, I don't know. It just seemed like out of it. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but
to me, what I said after the Frankfurt game was that he looked soulless. There was no sentiment.
Punch this guy in the face, and he would just be like, "Cheers, mate! You want my wife as well? You can punch her too." There's just nothing there. There's nothing. Someone could beat the guy up, and he would just be like, "Have a good day." There's just nothing in this guy. There's nothing. I don't know. And it spreads.
No, there's a lack of feeling and a lack of passion and sentiment, and just I think you're almost spot on. It's just you just don't see anything in his expression. He's just kind of mute or neutral, and you're just show some aggression or show some consistency, show me something. But to be fair, it wasn't just him in the last game. Just the whole team felt deflated, except for this man.
Socrates was amazing in Frankfurt.
Socrates was playing alone. He was like a was like a Spartan at the back.
Also,
he was just
the
fighting for
passion he
everyone.
showed, he was diving into challenges, he was yelling, like it was just such a breath of. When he first came in, I thought that was one of the best things he was bringing to us, like just the no nonsense defending. You know what I mean? That's what I mean.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just seen this comment. Porto Leone in Brussels. There's no Olympiacos club. There is, mate. There is. Sorry, this is responding probably to a question below from Alex Platano, looking for an Antwerp ticket. If you want an Antwerp ticket, mate, and you live in Brussels like me, or you live in Belgium, send us a DM on Twitter or on Instagram or any of our socials. Get in touch with us, and I'll try and help you out. But look, guys, there was a message that was sent around to all Gate 7 fan clubs.
The right
if
message.
If you're not signed up to your local Gate 7 fan club, do not expect to get tickets for these games. The tickets are limited. Antwerp's stadium is being refurbished on one of the stands, so the capacity is limited even more. We're only going to get close to 1,000 tickets, I think.
That's it. Okay.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. So again, I repeat, if you want to go to these away games, go and support your local fan clubs. For some, it's not going to be more than like €50 a year, and that contributes to like the rec centers that you go and watch games together, or like the trips that you'll go on. So just like, be a sport, like support the club. And yeah, mate, for anyone that's listening from Belgium, Brussels, or if you guys looking for any info on fan clubs, get in touch and we'll try and help you out. Sorry, that was a little side note there.
No, it's a good. We've had people ask the questions, and the sad thing is there's not a fan club everywhere. So maybe the closest location to you can speak with people. And the thing is, they really deserve support and funding. A lot of people, all these guys do it for free. A lot of the people who run the fan clubs. So I don't know, support these guys. They make merchandise, they organize events, they get the tickets. They have to pay for the tickets up front, and then they get paid back, but sometimes you have to straggle to get. Anyway, just like, if we can help, we can help. But yeah, support these guys, support the fan clubs, they're great initiatives.
But we were talking about question marks tomorrow, and you're saying Androutsos starts tomorrow.
I would love to see Androutsos start tomorrow, just because I would love to see some running up and down that wing with Kostic not starting. I think it's a little easier for Androutsos to play. I also don't think Kenny Lalá is a brilliant defender. I think that's bullshit. I think it's just a narrative because he came from Ligue 1. Everyone's like, oh, Kenny Lalá is a better defender. I think he's bang average.
He is definitely a better defender.
He's a better defender because Androutsos is a shit defender, but like that doesn't mean he's like Philippe Lam over there. Defender. Like everyone is like, we have to start Lalá because he's an amazing defender.
Amazing defender, maybe not. Maybe not an amazing defender.
In Frankfurt, they had to switch the wings because he was getting destroyed by Kostic. I don't know if you remember that, but anyway.
No, but honestly, Kostic not playing tomorrow
is huge.
Every time
Paciencia too was a decent. He was almost like a target man. Paciencia. I don't remember when he signed for us. I thought he was more fast. He was going in behind. Like it was almost like a target man, if I remember.
He's like he's a mobile target man. He's a bit of a nuisance.
Big dude. Like I didn't remember him being so big. Like I don't know.
He barely played. He played like two, 3 appearances maybe as a sub, and then he had this heart problem.
He's made a career for himself. Like good for the dude. Like I remember when he left, I was super disappointed because he was like a bit of a, like everyone was excited. Like this guy Paciencia has come. He could be something big. And then the heart issue just came out of nowhere, and then boom, that was it. And he's still only 26, I think 25.
Yeah, he's quite young. He's quite young, but it's a shame.
Honestly. Good for him.
It's a shame how it turned out.
Yeah, it's a shame. And so tomorrow night, I don't even know who their other striker is. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna have to Google it. I hate them.
I mean,
so
look.
much. I hate them. I don't care who the other striker is. I just want to beat them.
No, but it's. I was listening to this on the radio earlier, but they are apparently their coach is playing his head tomorrow. Like the results have been poor. Besides a 2-1 win, I think it was against Bayern, which came out of nowhere, and then a 3-1 win against us. They've gotten very lucky, and in the group stage as well of the Europa League, I think the last game it was a 95th minute penalty before our game in Frankfurt, and then against Fenerbahce as well, it was a last minute extra time penalty. So you're hoping that the luck's going to run out tomorrow with close to 30,000 in the stadium. So, but really, Kostic being out every time he got on the ball in
amazing.
That game.
What a player that kid is! Like
his left foot. His left foot is so elegant. It's just like something like Djordjevic was. It's just he would. It was his left foot was like a paintbrush.
Yeah, it
was
beautiful.
It was beautiful. Every time he whipped those balls in, brilliant. I'm very glad he's not playing.
His movement too was just like every time he got on the ball, it was like, for fuck's sake, here we go again.
Here we go again.
Like I'm looking at their lineup from the last game, and Kostic did play. The lineup looks slightly different. They have the Swiss midfielder who I remember, Toure, but they started a striker named Bore. Bore, is that the name Bore?
Yeah.
I don't know where he's from.
Anyway,
let's
move to the big questions tomorrow. Midfield.
So real quick, Oleg starts as well.
Yeah. Oleg, we said so. Okay, Oleg, Socrates, Ba, and right back. You're going for Androutsos.
But Lalá will play, and he'll get subbed off at like the 70th minute. Let's
see, because he was taken off at the weekend. He was taken off for a rest, everybody played awful.
He gets taken off all the time. It makes no sense. This is the first time I've seen a fullback get subbed off so much in my life. But
it's true. It's not something that generally coaches do. Take wing backs off during a game. It's not a good sign. But okay, midfield. Jan and Villa has to be starting tomorrow in the
Jan and Villa in the hole at the 6. Yes.
Yeah, that for me is a cert. Mady Camara needs to finally step up.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been building for me. It's been building for me a little bit with Mady. He was carrying us in the European qualification campaigns for the Champions League as far as we got. Scored goals. I feel like since the league campaign started and Europa League has started, he's been playing 6s, 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10. I feel like he's playing in third gear. He's just not getting out of third gear and getting into 4th and 5th. And there are rumors surfacing again that Roma are interested. Italian clubs are looking at him. That Roma came to watch him and Aguibou and Masouras, and they're coming again tomorrow. Well, I tell you what, if it means that he puts in a performance tomorrow, we're not arseholes. We know he's given a lot to this club. He shouldn't be here. He should be playing in a bigger league. But I want a performance from Mady tomorrow. I want
game.
Him to put in what he can do.
It's going to be a packed house. Like we had the fan ban against PAOK, and then we went away to Frankfurt, and then it was Panathinaikos. I think almost 2 weeks have gone by. Like this is going to be a big stadium, hopefully full. The one thing I want to say, which is a bit controversial, I was looking at tickets. Sometimes I look to see like, what sections are open, blah, blah, blah. The tickets are way too expensive, man. Like, I don't know if you've seen, but like to get in the building, you have to pay 30 euros. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I really don't like that. In Frankfurt, we paid 28 euros. That's fantastic. Like, to get into the stadium in Greece for this game, you're gonna have to pay at least 25 euros, I think. Like, I'm sorry, that's a bit too much for a Greek football team, Olympiacos. Like, even for someone abroad, like for me to go to a football game in Geneva, it's like 15 francs. Like, come on, like, it's a bit too much for me. But anyway,
for all the shit we gave Frankfurt as being a horrible city, which it is a horrible city.
Yeah, it's the worst. We can talk about that all day.
The stadium was one of the nicest, most modern, beautiful stadiums I've ever been to, and I've been to my fair share of stadiums across the world. So yeah, I mean, we were sitting behind the goal, and the €30 tickets you're talking about are tickets that are in the middle of the park. Yeah, it is what it is.
Tickets have gone up post-COVID, I think, and with Olympiacos, which is a bit sad to see. But
Champions League, those tickets would cost about 50.
Yeah.
The ones in the middle, 45 or €50.
Oh, but I don't know, because sometimes I look to see, is there some seats available, blah, blah, blah. Like, maybe I can text a friend to go. But anyway, let's move on. So midfield, Mari Camara, Jan Mvia for sure. And this is where I will differ. I think we go back to what we did in Turkey, and you start Aguibou Camara as the third midfielder.
I agree with you from the perspective that this is not a game for me where we should be experimenting, playing Lopez. Even if Lopez had a good game against Panathinaikos, good game. I mean, he got an assist and he was active. He was running around the pitch. He was looking for the ball. Even if he was playing just one touch back to the player that gave it to him, he was involved. He was looking to, help with the build-up. I agree with you from that sense. I think it's not a game to be experimenting. I think maybe you and me are on the same line here, that the recipe for success tomorrow is proven from the Fenerbahce game with that midfield trio, where you have a holding player. It was Bukhalakis in Turkey, and you had two players like Madi and Aguibou. We know they're friends off the pitch. It counts on the pitch as well when they're playing side by side in the midfield. They can both press. They both have pace. They're both good on the ball. They're both fairly. I mean, Madi is strong. Aguibou, for his size and his age, he's quite strong as well. I think we need those two players in the middle. Again, I don't like to see Aguibou out on the wing. I think he's wasted. So I would agree with you. That would be my midfield trio going into the game tomorrow. And I think, to my earlier comment about Koundé, I would like to see it. But again, the fact that he's just got 8 minutes on the weekend, it just shows to me that coach isn't sure about him.
It doesn't make sense. Like, I don't get it.
How is he going to start a game in Europe?
I don't get it. I don't get what the guy has to do, to be honest. And I was going to say the same thing. If he has played a bit more time, I would have started him tomorrow, but he just hasn't. I don't think relying on a 20-year-old. Aguibou hasn't been dropped from the lineup in how long, Costa? It's been...
He hasn't.
2 months? I don't think so.
He hasn't been dropped since... I mean, he's one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
After Vachlik, Socrates, Mvila, and Madi... Yeah. He and Masouras, he's one of those players now.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know how to feel so much about it. I think it's good, but okay. I think sometimes his decision making. I don't know. Sometimes he makes. Well, he's 20 years old. It makes sense, but sometimes it's just like in the crucial moment. I noticed against Panathinaikos. He doesn't have eyes up. It's like it worked against the PAOK game where he bashed the ball into 2 defenders and it deflected in. But I sent you guys a tweet. I'm sorry if the person's listening, but I sent you guys a tweet and the guy was right. Aguibou Camara will go for the big money when he makes the pass there instead of shooting. Like when he sees the run, that makes much more sense. Because this has happened quite a few times where I've been just at moments where I'm like, give the pass, and he doesn't do it. He doesn't pick his head up and play the pass, and maybe that will come with time.
I talked about that quite early on as well in his decision making. And to be fair, against PAOK, the second goal I think was the Masouras goal. It's from his assist where he's seen the run, he's played a nice pass in, and Masouras has scored the goal. But guys, let's not forget, this is a kid that was worth, if I'm not wrong, 30 or 300k. His market value's gone up to 3.5 million on Transfermarkt. It was updated yesterday, I think. So big congrats to him. Yeah, we've said it before. Like, he's a kid that's played 13 professional games in his career. He's 20 years of age, and he's still got a lot to learn on the pitch. And I don't think it's a question of, he's going to make the big move when he makes the pass instead of the shot. He's going to make the big move, and he's going to be ready for the big time when he knows the difference, when he knows when it's the right time. This is where I need to shoot, or this is where the pass is on, and his decision making needs to improve. That's clear. But what he brings us in tomorrow's game, playing in the midfield, not on the wing as he did in Frankfurt, is that he brings that ability to bring pace into the midfield. It's something that we did not have in Frankfurt, and it killed us. Jan Villa was playing by himself the first 10 minutes of the game, and he was holding things together in the first 10 minutes. As long as Jan Villa had strength and stamina the first 10 minutes of the game in Germany, something was happening. He was making interceptions. He was, winning the ball back and spreading the ball out to the wings, getting others involved. But Bouchalakis was never in the game in Frankfurt. He played 90 minutes. Anyway, I'm not going to rant about Bouchalakis. Madi hasn't hit the standards yet. So he was alone. And that put a lot of pressure on our defense because we didn't have any sort of, fast player that could be aggressive, that could keep up with the pace and tempo of the Frankfurt midfield. That number 15 just did whatever the hell he wanted in the first game. And he's going to be the guy, number 15, the Japanese guy in the center of midfield. We need to stop him tomorrow. We need to put pressure on him. I want to see some big tackles. Like, I play amateur football. I always say, get into the game and make a big tackle in the first 10, 15, first minute of the game. You need to make a big tackle on that guy to let him know you're going to have a hard day today, my friend. You're just going to be on the ball and running and doing whatever the hell you want. And tomorrow there's going to be pressure. 30,000 Greeks, they're going to be up for it tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the final. People have been talking about it. People have been saying this is it for first place. Guys, first place is so big this year. With that first place, we have a bye, as Costa said. This is a huge opportunity to go far in Europe. Tomorrow night is a huge opportunity. We win tomorrow, and we're looking at a home game with Fenerbahce where we could maybe clinch first place if results go our way. Or we could be looking very good into the last game versus Antwerp. Tomorrow's massive. We dropped the ball a bit in Frankfurt, but that was always going to be difficult. If we go out tomorrow and win, that's huge. It could be, it's a huge game so early in the season. The difference between first place and second place this year in Europa League is huge. It's huge. If we just think about it, Olympiacos has been to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. That's the farthest we've gone. By December, we're in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. That's huge. That's huge. Not quarterfinals, round of 16, excuse me. Anyway, the round of 16 has been the furthest we've gone, guys. Like, I don't think people get that. We will be there by December. Like, this is huge opportunity. We need to go for it. And the players need to be up for it. They need to understand how big of an opportunity this is. You're in round of 16. You get a good draw. And there we go. It's a crazy dream, as we like to say. It's things bounce around and we go for it. So best chance. Exactly.
Let's see.
Let's move forward. So we have Masouras, who's for sure going to play.
Before we get to the wingers, maybe let's have a little pause here. And we promised at the beginning of the show that we would be coming back and introducing our new sponsor. There's a video coming up. Stay with us. We were approached by this new sponsor, and we've got a nice little video for you now.
Support for Gate 7 International is brought to you by Manscaped, the champion in men's below-the-belt grooming. The Lawnmower 4.0 is precision engineered to trim your family jewels. But before we trust the lawnmower to our family jewels, we're going to test it on my buddy Ian's head right here. So let's see how this thing does. I think it passed the test. To get your own Lawnmower 4.0, go to Manscaped's website at www.manscaped.com and enter the code G7INTL for 20% off and free shipping. Frilos Patu.
Jesus Christ. It's beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Manscaped, check it out. Go to manscaped.com. If you need a ball trimmer or if you want to use it for something else, 20% off if you go to manscaped.com. Free shipping if you use the order code G7INTL. Don't be shy, guys. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. You just want those balls free flowing like Mari Camara on the break. I had to do one. I had to.
There's going to be like a different balls reference every episode, I'm sure.
Every episode.
I'm looking forward to the creativity.
Yeah, I'm sure Peter's excited for it. But anyway.
Back to the game.
Back to the game, everyone. So moving forward, we're looking at Masouras on one wing. We're looking El Arabi, let's say Kavlarabi up top, given he was in the press conference. And that left wing, I just look at our friend at Gazeta.gr, Tomaras. He put an article saying Martins showed El Arabi and Onyekuru as starters for Frankfurt. So that's the news, guys. El Arabi and Onyekuru. He finished his article off with saying the exact three in midfield. We said Aguibou, Envia, and Mari Camara, and Masouras, of course. So that looks like it's it, guys.
I think Masouras is definitely. We all know Masouras has got that spot in the team tomorrow. To be surprised, I was thinking about this coming up to this conversation now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Henry Onyekuru start tomorrow because tactically, actually, he has been good. That's the only thing he's been good at. We bought him in to be a sensation attacking wise on the wing, to run at people, to be fast on the counter attack, get in behind, score goals. His goal scoring record, if you look at his career stats, are quite remarkable for a player that's, if I remember well, 24, 25 years of age. He's still young. He's been on the scene for a long time, guys. I'm not surprised if he starts tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it's a breakout game. He wasn't in the squad on the weekend, so he's fresh. It makes more sense to me than to play a Ronnie Lopez, for example, who does not track back. He will not contribute defensively, and I just cannot see Ronnie Lopez starting in a lineup that isn't a 4-2-3-1, and him playing as a free role number 10 behind the striker. And then the other one is Mario Vrusai. A lot of people talking about Vrusai. I'd love to see it, but again, I just can't see it. He's one of those players right now that's playing 10, 15 minutes at the end of the game. Hasn't started a single game this season. I don't see any reason why Martins is going to start him tomorrow.
I agree. And with the lineup we just gave you, I thought Henry Onyekuru performed exactly as we needed him to perform in Turkey, in Constantinople. I thought he was good in that game. I think this 4-1-4-1, as I rightfully pointed out, it's not 4-3-3, it's 4-1-4-1, because the 6 plays a bit deeper and the 2 press forward. I think it's I really love that system. I don't know if it's come off, but that's my, with Aguibou and Madi, the 2 front CMs. I love this system. I want to see it. And I think Henry, listen, I think, why the hell is he here? He was here to run at the break at slow German defenders with space in behind. If he can't do that, why the hell did we spend 5 million euros on the guy? So just give him the goddamn chance to run at German defenders and goddamn it, hope for the best, I don't know.
This 5 million question, and why did we pay 5 million? I'm not going to get into that today, maybe it is as our friend All Red White is saying here, maybe tomorrow is Henry's chance to shine. I hope it is. I hope it's a breakout game for him tomorrow. He looks like he needs confidence.
I also like this comment. Can
Sorry.
I bring it up? Let me pull it up. There we go. Fetano says, if Onyekuru doesn't score, can we use lawnmower 4000 on his head? I think we need a hair gel or hair dye.
Maybe we can send him
sponsor.
the 20%. We can send him the code for the 20% discount, though I don't think he needs the discount. But
I don't think he needs it. It would help us, to be fair. So gate7intl at manscaped.com. If Henry Onyekuru won't buy it, you guys can buy it for us. But we very happy with the sponsorship. I don't know. I think we're feeling we're feeling good about we're feeling pretty good about the game. I don't know. The team has just been playing meh all season, Costa. I don't know. I haven't been on the podcast in so long, so I haven't had the chance to talk about this. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Oh God, all red. Oh God. If you all red white, it's been a while, but I got my hair freshly cut by a man who only spoke French, so he did a good job for us not being able to communicate at all. But I don't know how to convince him I'm gonna dye my hair pink. So
maybe you can just get like if he scores one goal, you can have like one line of pink in your hair.
One line.
But if he scores two, you know, 2 lines of pink.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see about that.
Let him score first, and let's win, and then Labrador can do whatever he wants with his hair.
Has he even scored? He
scored
like
in Slovan. He scored against Slovan.
Yeah.
Bratislava.
Yeah. Henry will dye my hair. Thank you, all red white. That's true. I hope. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk about this. Like, the team has been so poor, and the thing is, the results have been coming. So it's so difficult to be critical of a team when results are coming. And I don't know who said it. Maybe it was one of our bloggers, but the away game in Frankfurt exposed us for what we really are. Like the results against Antwerp and Fenerbahce were a smokescreen, but what happened in Frankfurt is what we really are. I don't know who said that. I remember reading it. It's one of our bloggers. And I don't know if that's true. Like, I just want to see tomorrow night. I want to see some fight. I want to see some just giving it, you know, just we're going to be playing in front of our fans, like our castle, as we say, our temple. Like, I want to see life from some of these players. I want to see Mari Camara. I want to see Henry. I love Youssef El Arabi, but I want to see him fight too. You know what I mean? Like, he's been a bit passive. Like, I want to see him just the only one who's been fighting recently is Socrates. Like, I just want even Mvia to come in for a tough tackle and just, you know, shove it, you know, like get the fans going. Like, we need something like that. We need it so bad. Like, the fans are going to give them some energy, but we needed something from the players, you know, like that's my point.
I have a question, and this is maybe a discussion that we can have another time as well, but out of our summer transfer dealings, who's been successful?
Tiquinho.
Who's been a success?
Aguibou.
Yep. But he was brought in for the B team.
Yeah. Augustin Ba on the B team. Dimitris Pinakas on the B team. Henry has been. Yeah, I'm not even going to say it. I don't know. It's a good question. I feel like in the old days we would burn some of these guys. Like, I don't know if it's COVID or the club has become more responsible and the fans have become more responsible over the ages of Martins. But I feel like in the old days, if Henry Onyekuru was pulling this shit, like even like 7-8 years ago, like there would be problems for Henry Onyekuru. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
This is a discussion for another time, but I think that this team, Martins' team, has come full circle. It's time. It is time for a refresh, and we'll have time to talk about this another day.
Oh, for sure.
the priority now is Frankfurt, but there are issues in this squad that are more than just we had a big COVID outbreak over the summer that set back our preseason. We've lost Kostas Fortounis, the best Greek midfielder. We forget this. Costa coming on in a game like in the Greek league where we've struggled for sure, or in Europe. I'm sorry, but in the European games last season against PSV or at Porto away, even though we lost, he's a player that came on and he gives you something. How many players can you say that about? How many players do you have that can change a game, that can impact a game like Costa? You don't have it. So, but the issue is, like I said, it's more than just the injuries. It's more than COVID. I think the squad is in need of a refresh, but that's a discussion for another time.
I think that's fair. I also think there's a few. This is before we could even talk about this. I think there's a few. There's some old players we could go back to, and I'm going to be real quick and say Omar El Abdallaoui, I think, is going to start playing in January. Xavi looks like he's going to be leaving from that Qatari team. Guilherme may be around. Anyway, these are just names that are being thrown out.
I would take them both back in a heartbeat.
I would too. I don't know what Omar's condition is. I know it's been bad with the eye and face from the firework, but anyway, we'll see. I think there's just a larger discussion needs to be had, like that there's a deep illness with this team. Like the team is sick. Like there's not, I don't know. I think that's my opinion. I'm going to support the team. We're going to analyze the team, but deep down, something's been wrong with this team. I've been saying it. All the listeners know since last season. Deep illness. I think it already starts post Wolves game. I think that was a soul crusher. Like, and even more so after winning the championship last season. I think the club has not fully recovered from that Wolves situation. I don't know. That's opening a huge can of worms.
Yeah.
And I
think
that's
going to be an interesting discussion when the four of us are on later on in the season, and we can look back at how this season's gone and how successful we've been, because it's early November. It's still early. Tomorrow is a high impact game. I think it will, to a certain extent, determine a lot. Depending if we win or lose tomorrow, there's going to be it's always like that. Olympiacos, you could say, but bad result tomorrow is going to have grinya, as we say in Greek.
Costa, grinya is a good comment, and if 30,000 people saw what we saw traveling to Frankfurt, it's not going to be pretty. It's because the team could have lost 4-5-1. What we saw in Frankfurt, the effort we saw in Frankfurt. Okay, here we go. Here's another rant. What we saw in Frankfurt, for 2,000 of us to travel to Frankfurt, and it was not easy. What we went through, rain, cops, Frankfurt fans, whatever, a train that wouldn't go anywhere. And some of those guys didn't even come to give they clapped and then they were off to the dressing room to show no effort. If we see anything like that tomorrow night, there's going to be some problems. I'm just saying, but I think they got away with that. Like, there wasn't a lot of talk about that, but what they showed us in Frankfurt, and then after the game, that like slight clap. I think Cisse was the only one. Cisse came to the fans and he put his hand on his heart and kind of apologized. The rest of them gave a little clap. So long, we're off to the showers. See you next week. Like,
it was just him and Socrates that came afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. The rest of
Socrates was there. Socrates was the first one.
Yeah, he was the first one. He said hello to someone on Frankfurt, and he was right over. I think it took some of these clowns, like a few, even the Frankfurt players clapped us. I don't know if you noticed that at the end of the game.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
clapped
yeah.
us. They came over and clapped us, those clowns.
Even Ronnie Lopez came over. Actually, even
Yeah.
Ronnie Lopez came over, and it was just like, get out here, man.
Screw off, Ronnie. Like,
Yeah, we don't know you yet. You can come
But
back when you've shown us something.
I don't know. Just it was great to be with the team in Frankfurt, but like, it just felt like the team didn't respect us almost. Like, and if they do that at home with a tifo, with the choreograph, you know how many people had to set this choreograph up? How many fans? They were calling for hands down. Some of the fan clubs and in Athens, I know the Misfits were calling for people like, and they're gonna, if they show no effort or they show a lack of running like they did in Frankfurt, I think Henry Onyekuru of the world are gonna have some problems. I think that's it. I think that's another key takeaway from me.
You're really hoping that they're gonna rise to the occasion.
They have to.
That is what we expect of the players tomorrow, that they rise to the occasion, that they remember what Olympiacos is about. Olympiacos is about playing with passion. It's about not being afraid to get in the faces of your opponents. And I'm going to go out and say it. If we play like Olympiacos tomorrow, it's 3-0. It's a 3-0 game. With that crowd tomorrow and with the players that they are missing, it's a big opportunity tomorrow for a big win that could set the momentum and really get us going, give confidence to everybody in that squad for the games that are coming up. There's Ionikos afterwards. There's going to be a chance for rotation on the weekend. And then after that, there's a break. And guess what? When we come back, we go and play AEK away. So strap in, guys. Tomorrow is a big game. Get in their faces. Get the fans behind you, and there's no reason why tomorrow isn't a 3-0 game. Like I'm going to be bold,
this
and I'm
Frankfurt
going to say
team is so there for the taking too. They're so weak mentally. You could see they're kind of. It was with their fans too. They're a bit of like the high riders. When things are going good, they're playing and but like some adversity there, you give them tackle, you get an early goal, and they just fall apart. Like
they will wither. They will wither.
Like they play some nice football sometimes, but they seem like a team that if shit goes wrong, like we're done. They don't have anything there. Like I don't know. I personally I hate them so much. I just hate the city of Frankfurt. I hate their fans too. I hated their fans. Like, I don't know, some of the treatment we received in Frankfurt. Like, I hope their fans are well treated in Athens. Let's say that. So we'll see.
Yeah, what matters is what happens in the pitch or on the pitch tomorrow.
Exactly. And a big shout out to Thira Efta, to Gate 7 for organizing this choreo, and to all the fans who will be in the stadium tomorrow night. We're all with you. We're hoping for the big win. We'll all be watching, and we're going to be live covering the game afterwards. And with that, I am predicting a 3-1 win, a goal of El Arabi Masuras, and
Henry Pinker.
Let's say Henry. Let's say Henry as well. Henry's going to score tomorrow night. Let's say that.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. The activity's been absolutely amazing. The comment section is on fire tonight. Lots of questions. Sorry, we haven't been able to just pick up everything. It's not possible.
Come back tomorrow night after a big win. Subscribe, be ready, guys.
Guys, if you haven't subscribed, hit that effing subscribe button underneath the video. Don't miss any other episodes. We are here before every Europa League game, every European fixture to preview. We bring guests along most of the times. Not today. We're on after the games as well. We're on every Sunday. We do 2 episodes a week. Don't miss any episodes. Hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you like what you've been listening to. And it helps us to grow the community. There are Olympiacos fans all over the world. Some that don't speak Greek, most speak Greek, but we are an English-speaking channel. help us to grow. We really appreciate all the support, all the love that we've been getting. Even when we went to Frankfurt, actually, both Labro and I had a couple of people come up to us and ask, are you the guys that do the show? No, we're really great to feel the love, and please do support us. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, and check out all our social media. Labro, anything else before we wrap up?
No, guys, like Pametri, let's go for it tomorrow night. Like, let's do it. I'm pumped up. I love doing these pre-games because it gets me going. And I don't know, like everything I said about the team not playing so well, there's some things wrong. Like nothing does it like a big European game or a big derby. And tomorrow's a big European game at home. Like, let's see it. Let's see it tomorrow night from the players. And I hope they get that message because I really want to see something. I want to see something tomorrow night from these guys.
And with that, we can wrap it up. Shall we sing the fans a little song for tomorrow to get them in the mood?
I never sing a song, but which song are we singing?
Δεν είμαστε καλά, δεν έχουμε μυαλο, είμαστε άρρωστοι
με τον Ολυμπιακό.
Θα γίνουμε καλά, θα βάλουμε μυαλο όταν πάρουμε και το ευρωπαϊκό.
Okay, I can't sing anymore. I'll go crazy. I'll go crazy.
Πάντα άρρωστοι με τον Ολυμπιακό. All right, guys, με την νίκη αύριο. Peace out. You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you will never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL. Give us a subscribe on YouTube or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι. Στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.